So, I wanted to do a daytime skincare video similar to my nighttime routine. So, prior to starting, I already did a couple of my steps because those involve like washing my face and actually shaving my face. So, I'm going to do this similarly to how I did the. Sorry, you are attached to my mirror that I usually do my makeup in front of, so it might wiggle a little. I'm gonna do my best to not bump it. I did just then, but I'm gonna do this similarly to how I did my first video, that I'm gonna show all of the products that I use first and explain them, and then I'm going to actually use them. So these two things I've already used on my face. I have PCOS, so I grow facial hair. It's something that I try to say I'm not ashamed of because it's a natural thing. Everybody grows facial hair. I just happen to grow more of it because I have a condition. But I do hate it and do like removing it. But I like to remind myself that there are men who also don't like growing facial hair and don't like having facial hair. So it's also fine for me to not like it, even being non binary and knowing that like facial hair would make me look more masculine. I, I still don't like it. I don't want it, particularly because of where it grows, that I literally get like a neck beard. So I shaved my face. I did that today with the Coco Kind Oil to Milk Cleanser. It's not a shaving cream or anything. I just like the texture of it, and it's nice and moisturizing, which is good when you're shaving because your skin will get a lot more dry when you're shaving. Oh, something I forgot to mention that just reminded me. I'm recovering from. Somebody keeps honking their horn. I'm recovering from having the flu, so my throat is still very scratchy. But I kind of like that quality anyway, so I'm hoping it's not too distracting. I may have to pause at certain parts so that I can cough, but I'm feeling much better. But anyway, the oil to milk cleanser, this is actually almost empty. That's why the bottle's like so dented. I just bought a new one. Even today, I was having a really hard time getting whatever was left out of this. So it's almost time to retire this bottle. Ooh, this sounds really nice. It's gonna be too hard to show you like what this looks like, but it comes out almost like a gel. It looks like a very like, almost looks like Vaseline, honestly, but more fluid. And then as you add water to it, it turns milky, and it's like really smooth on the skin. Like I said, I just like it for shaving my face. I don't really wash my whole face with it. I just put it in this area just to shave. What I do use to wash my whole face is the Herbalism clay cleanser from Lush, which I'll show you what that looks like. It's really cool looking. So you can see why it's called Herbalism. It is definitely a nod to the fact that it looks like weed. It is a green clay cleanser. It's one of their most natural cleansers in my opinion. I don't use Lush a ton anymore, and it's maybe a little bit hypocritical because I know that some of the other skincare products that I use are not all natural and good for the environment and everything, but I've really tried to kind of stop supporting Lush because I think that their messages are a little bit misguided and they don't tell all of the information about their products. I think they're just a little bit sneaky, which is maybe an unpopular opinion to have about Lush because they're meant to be this very like all-inclusive brand. They're good for the environment, they donate to charities, but there's just something, and part of it is maybe from me working there, that I just don't quite trust them, particularly with their stance on fragrance in their skincare products. I'm not somebody who is against fragrance in skincare, but the way that they speak on it, I find confusing. as well as still using parabens, which I do try and make sure that all of my skincare is paraben free, and still containing sulfates as well. Lush's products still containing sulfates. This one does not. The reason I say it's one of their most natural cleansers is because, again, I work there, so I know these things. If you look at the ingredients list, if you can, there's such a glare, but most of the ingredients are in green, which means that they are a naturally derived ingredient. Any ingredients that are in black is a synthetically produced ingredient. So as you can see, only one ingredient is in black, and it's just fragrance, and it's the second lowest ingredient on the list, which means it's in a very low concentration. So this has ground almonds, kaolin clay, glycerin, nettle, rosemary and rice vinegar extract, rice bran, water, gardenia extract, rose absolute, chamomile blue oil, which is one of my favorite ingredients in skincare, sage oil, fragrance, and chlorophyllin. It actually smells like rye bread, which is very odd, but I'm guessing it's kind of a mix of the rosemary and the rice bran and the rice vinegar, and maybe a little bit of the chamomile blue as well. Chamomile blue has a very herbal scent to it, which, you know, makes sense. It smells so good. It smells exactly like Jewish rye bread, which it's very much like an acquired scent. I don't think that most people would smell it and think it smells good, but for me it's like very comforting. I don't know why, but I love this cleanser. It's supposed to be meant for more oily skin. My skin is more on the dry side, but I think because it does have those more moisturizing ingredients like chamomile blue, gardenia, well, gardenia is not really moisturizing, but it's also not oil controlling. The sage, the rosemary, the rice vinegar, that's all more more oil controlling, whereas the chamomile blue is more moisturizing. I don't know why. It has like an oily feel to it, but not in a bad way. My skin always winds up feeling very soft and hydrated after I use it, even though it's like not supposed to. So it does make me question whether it would be good for oily skin the way it's promoted to be, but I like it. Okay, so next step in my routine, I keep all of my skincare in a little, it's actually a nightstand, but a little drawer next to, this is my like makeup area, which is in front of my window. I've got like two big, my room's an absolute mess, otherwise I would show you. I've got like two big, what are these called? I don't know what these are called. Like storage containers with the drawers. I always call them art supply containers because that's what my mom always used them for. But they keep all of my makeup, and then I've got my one little drawer for skincare in here, which a lot of it I don't use. I really had to get better at actually using my skincare and not just buying it. Sorry, my curtain just moved. But I'm trying to be quiet because things like to slide when I pull them out. So these are the toner pads that I use. They are from Clean It Zero, which is a Banilla & Co. brand line. Yeah, Banilla & Co. is the, I always say Banilla & Co. It's technically just Banilla Co. I'll show you. I know it's going to be backwards, but Banilla Co. and then Clean It Zero, I think, is just like the line of all of this skincare. This is their Tri-Peel Acid Pore Clarifying Toner Pads. So, I'm trying to look for the ingredients, but it might not be on here. I know it has tea tree leaf extract, but it also has alpha hydroxy acids, beta hydroxy acids. I think there's a third one. It might have lactic. I can't remember. I remember because we sell these at work. So I remember learning about what the acids were that are in it, but I don't remember off the top of my head now. And all of the information on the back is in Korean, I think. I think that's Korean. It is a like a K-Beauty brand, which not technically, usually K-Beauty brands tend to be a little bit cleaner than US beauty brands. They're better. I say that with quotations because it's all up to personal preference and opinion. But I do get what people mean when they say that like K-Beauty's better. I mean, you look at like the skin of like K-pop stars and everything, and they all look fantastic. There's a reason for that. But I don't use these every day because they are strong. And today in particular, when I use them, I usually don't use these after I've shaved because that is exfoliating the skin and it's already sensitized. So when I use them today, I'm just going to be doing the top half of my face. I'm not going to be touching any of the areas that I shaved. And now there's something in my way. Okay, I use a second toner as well. This is one of my all-time favorite products. I mentioned it several times in my nighttime skincare video, but I never actually said what the product was. So it is Peach Slices, which is a sister brand to Peach and Lily, which is a very expensive brand. Not very expensive, but pricey brand. This is a more budget-friendly sister brand to them, and this is the Snail Rescue Blemish Busting Toner. And the reason it's called Snail Rescue is because it is 95% snail mucin concentrate. So it's snail slime, which I know sounds disgusting, but it is amazing for your skin. It is super hydrating. It says blemish busting. It controls acne. It minimizes breakouts. It helps to heal breakouts. It helps to heal scars. It has greatly improved the texture of my skin and the overall hydration of my skin. It's literally my favorite product that I own for skincare, bar none. There's a lot of products that I love, but this is always top of the list. It has this amazing feeling to it. It's like super silky. It doesn't feel slimy. It's not sticky. So if you can get past the notion that it's snail slime, if you can get past that, it's a fantastic product and I really recommend it. Fast track to hydrated, blemish-free skin and an even glow with snail mucin. This toner helps clear pores, zap zits, and strengthen skin's barrier. And it is cruelty-free. The snails are not harmed in the extraction. I don't even want to call it extraction because I actually looked up how snail mucin is usually collected. They let snails crawl around on like a net surface and then they take the mucin extract off of the net. So it's just snails living their best life and then we live our best life. I'm not vegan or vegetarian. I do tend to eat more vegan and vegetarian recipes because I just happen to like them. I don't like meat very much in most settings. I also don't like preparing it myself. But I do try to make sure that all of my skincare is cruelty-free, and I do like my skincare to be vegan as well, just because there's really no reason for it to be. So I don't really use a lot of products that have like lanolin in it, anything like that. My makeup is not all entirely cruelty-free because I know a lot of it will contain carmine. It's a lot harder to find completely vegan makeup. I've found it's easier to find skincare that's completely vegan. It's so weird to like have to think about my process of how I do my skincare because normally I just am grabbing it. Next is my serum shots. So these are from Sweet Chef. I'm gonna move this over. I'm afraid I'm gonna drop one of them. So these are my serum shots from Sweet Chef. I use all 3 of these and I just mix them together. I use actually let me show you in the order that I put them on. The ginger vitamin C serum shot, the beet and vitamin A serum shot, and the Kale Vitamin B Serum Shot. And these I just take like 2 drops, maybe 2 to 3 drops on the back of my hand, mix them together, and then I apply to my whole face. I probably could skip using the ginger one. I don't know that it really does anything for me. My skin doesn't really seem to do anything with brightening products. I think because I'm already so pale, I don't deal with any like hyperpigmentation or like skin discoloration or anything that really needs brightening. So I don't know that the ginger serum shot really does anything, but I wonder if I stopped using it, would I notice a difference? So I don't know. I still use it because I've had it. I had it literally just open a new bottle because I've had it sitting for forever. But I might not buy it again after this one's done. I don't know. The beet one and the kale one are amazing. I really like them. The beet one is supposed to help with texture, I believe. It says on the front. Refines pores and smooths rough skin. One of my biggest problems with my skin is texture. I have pretty big pores. There's no product that actually can shrink your pores. It can just minimize the look of your pores and also keep them clean. The cleaner that your pores are, the less they're going to be noticeable, so the less blackheads you have. And then the kale one is just super moisturizing, hydrates, and soothes dry skin. So I use all 3 of those together. Next is my eye cream, which I thought I took out already. I did. Sorry, try not to knock the mirror. This is another one of my favorite products. This is Bad Habit. Again, I remember I wanted to say this. Where most of my nighttime skincare routine is almost completely Bad Habit, most of my daytime is completely Sweet Chef. Sweet Chef is a brand that we used to sell at Morphe, and we stopped carrying them for a really dumb reason. The reason that we stopped carrying Sweet Chef is because we physically could not keep up an inventory. We didn't have the money to invest into purchasing their products for us to sell. Even though they sold well, we just weren't able to keep up on inventory, so we had to stop selling Sweet Chef, which really sucked because I started to really like the brand. Case in point, almost my entire daytime skincare routine is Sweet Chef, except for this. So Bad Habit is Bad Habit eye cream. This is a caffeine and peptide eye cream. I actually got this for the caffeine. I deal with like puffy eyes. Here, I'll take my glasses off for a second. I talked about this a little bit in my nighttime skincare routine. I deal with more puffiness. I don't really deal with like dark circles. And then I have these lines under my eyes. They're genetic. I've had them my whole life. You can even see them in like my baby photos because my cheeks are very high. And I don't know, I've just always had like those lines under my eyes, but I don't really want them to get worse as I age. But primarily, I bought this for the caffeine to help with that depuffing, but the peptides I think have really been like doing their work for my under eyes because my under eyes have been looking so good. I've been using this for about a year now, and peptides are anti-aging, and they're supposed to, minimize the look of like fine lines and wrinkles. There's nothing that can really, there's technically nothing that can reverse aging processes. They can just slow them. You might see an improvement in your skin overall, so it will minimize the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, which is great, but technically I will like always have these lines unless I get them surgically removed. I don't even know if that's not, if, sorry, there's a cat. Okay. Sorry. What was I saying? Sorry. Alright. Anyway, this is my eye cream. There's a lot happening. Alright, and then my moisturizer is, surprise, surprise, Sweet Chef. This is the Sweet Chef Superfood Vitamin Moisture Boost. It looks like this. It's just like a yellow cream. It smells really good. I don't actually remember what's in this, to be completely honest. I just know that I like it. It's very thick. Actually, since I have it, I'll show you. I alternate between moisturizers depending on the season. So this is my winter moisturizer. It's a lot heavier. It's really better suited for a night cream, I would say, but I use the tiniest amount of it. And I just like the texture of it. I think it does amazing things for my skin, and it makes my base go on smoothly. I'm so sorry. I hope that wasn't loud. This is my summer moisturizer. So when it's a lot hotter out, my skin is producing more oil. I need something more lightweight. I use the Peach Slices Snail Rescue oil-free moisturizer. Also has 95% snail mucin concentrate. This is a very liquidy moisturizer. I don't like it that much, but it also isn't bad. I just don't like putting it on because it's annoying. It's so liquidy. I prefer things that are more, when it comes to moisturizer, I prefer things that are more creamy as opposed to liquidy. And then moisturizer, oh, my oil. Sometimes I skip this step. It depends, especially if I'm going to be wearing a mask, because I don't like my mask to get all greasy and oily, and this is definitely an oily oil. Some oils sink into the skin really well. This one does tend to sit on top a little bit more, so it can kind of just sit on top, but I like that because I like the glow that it gives me. So this is the Sweet Chef Superfood Vitamins Beauty Oil, and I'll just do like 1 or 2 drops depending on my cheeks, and then like 1 drop on my forehead, and then I distribute down my nose and my chin. I like this product though. It's nice. That sounded really lame. Move this powder. Sorry if I'm taking a really long time in between products. I'm trying to put my stuff back really quietly because this drawer can be loud. Alright, last step in my skincare routine is my Cocokind Daily SPF. Please wear sunscreen. I can't say this enough. I cannot stress this enough. Wear sunscreen. There is a reason that everybody that you know that has good skin will tell you that they wear sunscreen. It's super important, not just for your skin, not just for cosmetic sake, but just for your own safety. Use something that's 30 SPF or higher. Don't just trust that your tinted moisturizer that has 15 SPF is going to keep you protected, because it's not. I know that it's the dead of winter right now, but, well, technically it's March. I guess it's almost springtime, but whatever. I still wear SPF every day. Even when it's rainy, even when it's cloudy, you are still absorbing UVA, UVB, and UVC rays. So, wear sunscreen. I will say, while this is my favorite sunscreen that I found for my face, I still don't like it. I'm very picky about sunscreen. I've tried a ton of different varieties. This one's the best that I found for stupid reasons. I like what it does to my eyebrows. In that when I put it on, it has this like kind of sticky feel to it, which is not terribly pleasant for the skin, but it makes my brow hairs kind of lay where I want them to, and I can brush them up. And then when I go to do my eyebrows for my makeup, it just makes it easier. Okay, so that all being said, I'm going to actually put my skincare on now. I feel so out of my element that I don't know what I'm doing. So first things first are the Clean It Zero pads, which I am starting to run low on time. I have to go to work. Today I'm working at Barnes & Noble. Oh, I didn't even show this. So I really like that this comes with these little tiny tweezers. You open this part up, and then you just kind of tweeze a little pad out. The part that I don't like is I can't believe I'm gonna do this on camera because it always looks so stupid. I don't like to put this down on like my hand or anything because it'll dry out. So I literally just like stick it on my face and then I put the lid back on blindly because I can't look down. Okay. That's what I do every day. Well, every day that I use these. So, like I said, keeping it away from this area. Don't get these around your eyes. They are a chemical peel, so similar to the Bad Habit products that I used in my nighttime skincare video. You don't want any AHAs, BHAs around your eyes. I like to get really into the crevices of my nose because it's a often neglected part of the face when it comes to skincare. And this is super wet because I'm not doing the bottom of my face, but alright. And then I just have a little trash can there. Again, I feel very out of balance. I don't know what order I'm going in. I think because I'm thinking about it too much. Next is my Snail Rescue, and I just dump a little bit in my hand. And you can see it's very oh, I just dripped it all over me. It's very liquidy. It's not slimy or anything. And then while my skin is still wet from that pad, I pat it all over the face. And this one I do take over the parts of my skin that I shaved because it is moisturizing and soothing. I like to do most of my skincare steps while my skin is still a little bit damp from the previous product because I think that it helps with absorption. Next are my serum shots, and like I said, I just mix them on the back of my hand. Sorry, I'm checking my sweater because I just dripped that all over me. So the ginger one, and I layer these on my hand in order from like the lightest serum to the heaviest serum. So I just do like 2 drops of the ginger. Two drops of the beet serum, and I'm trying to get it so you can see the texture of these. This one has more of like a gel texture. The first one was more liquidy, and you'll see the last one, the kale one, is more creamy. It's almost like a very thin moisturizer. I just mix them on the back of my hand and apply to the face. Oh, and I mentioned it in my last video, but any products with a dropper, do not touch the dropper to your skin, even if it's been freshly cleansed, because it can harbor bacteria, and then you're just dipping something bacteria laden into your product that goes onto your face. So always just put some on the back of your hand, or you can drip it directly onto your face as long as you do it from a distance. That's usually what I do. So I'd like to draw attention to the order in which I do my products. I don't remember if I mentioned it in my nighttime skincare video, but there is a proper order to the skincare, skincare steps that you do. You typically want to start with your lightest weight products, so products that are going to be more liquidy, water-based, and you want to work your way all the way up to oils and then SPF as your last step, always. It doesn't matter, like, sorry, my mom's coughing. I hope that's not getting picked up. And targeted skincare goes first. So I'll kind of list the order so that you know it. So it goes cleanser, toners, serums, eye cream, moisturizer, oil, SPF. If you're doing any sort of a mask, that goes after cleanser, before toner. Hope that helps. Speaking of, okay, eye cream. this does have a slight peach shimmer to it. You can see the color back of my hand. The shimmer is kind of just for shimmer, but the peach color is to help slightly color correct any blue or purple tones that most people will have in their under eyes. But not me. I'm just built different. Stupid. And again, using the ring finger because it is the lightest pressure. I'm saying all of this assuming that y'all watched my nighttime skincare routine. Anytime I say again or like I said, it's probably because I'm referencing that video, which if you haven't watched it, what are you doing here? Okay, the moisturizer. Again, I can't find any of my scoops, so I'm just going right in. And I like to just kind of like dot it around and then work it into the skin. So you can see I use a very tiny amount, but it just feels so good. It smells really good. It makes my skin just butter soft. Especially combined with all of the acid ingredients that I use in my skincare. It just makes my skin super smooth, super soft. I can't get the lid on now. That's what I get for trying to make ASMR sounds. Oh, I never put the cap back on this. I do that a lot. I forget to put the cap back on because both of my hands are busy because I'm like pouring into my hand. Alright, moisturizer. Oil is next. And similar to my Dude oil in my nighttime, I just drip from high above. I see all those Instagram videos of people dripping their foundations and their oils and stuff with the dropper touching their skin, and I'm like, no, stop, please. It's like one of the easiest ways to encourage acne is by spreading bacteria. With that being said, also make sure that your hands are clean when you're doing your skincare. There's no sense in putting a bunch of really nice products on your face if you're also spreading bacteria and like grossness with your hands. And then last but most certainly not least, the SPF. Which this is a very thick formula, so I use a tiny amount. This is also not a melanin friendly product. It has very much a white cast. So if you're like any darker than me, this sunscreen probably won't work for you. Even on me, it gives me this like blue-white glow. It does eventually kind of settle, but it's definitely not very friendly to all skin tones, which is a shame. I know that it's difficult to formulate SPF without that white cast, particularly when it's like reef safe and vegan and all the different properties of sunscreen, but I know that there are sunscreens that exist that are darker skin friendly, so it's frustrating when one isn't. Even, I mean, it's not something that affects me, but still something that affects other people. Okay. So you can see that white cast does kind of diminish after a little while. And I'm just left with like super glowy. Oh, I love the glow. I love my skin to look very hydrated, moisturized. Some might call it oily. I don't care. I like it. But that is my daytime skincare, and now I'm gonna go do my makeup, which I think I'm gonna film a video for that as well. Yeah, I've got time. I'm just doing something simple today. All right, see y'all next time. Bye.